Hey, growth peeps, how are you? So lean in for a second. Let me ask you something. Are you happy with your current self? With the way you look? With the way you feel? And the current state of your life? Did you know that what you do today is creating the future you? So it's extremely important to believe in your current self. I'm Sage. I'm a growth coach. You can follow me at Growing Sage. And today's topic is believe in your current self to create your future self. So let's kind of define some of this terminology. So your current self. So I have worked in the health and wellness and fitness industries for decades. And one of the hardest things for us human beings to realize is that the body we're currently in is the representation of the choices I made 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago, and then that is me. And we have a really tough time thinking about like who we want to be 6 months from now, and that if we want to be that version of ourselves, we have to start acting like her today so that we can have another today and another today and another today, and then that can actually get us to where we want to be in that 6 month time period. And let's talk about our future self. You have to be able to feel and envision and manifest that version of yourself way out there and ask yourself, okay, so what would the Sage of 4th of July do in this situation? What would she do? If that's your goal, by 4th of July, you want this certain scenario to happen with your health or your fitness or any other aspect of your life, then you have to start asking yourself how she would show up. Now, obviously, I'm talking about physical change, but you can also say, how would Sage in August handle paying bills and get an organizational system together that is just flawless by August, so that then paying bills isn't something stressful and, that weighs you down. Or you could make an emotional change. What's the Sage in October? What does she do when her sister's bringing all this drama? You have to ask out in the future what the future version of yourself would do. Because what you're looking at of me right now, I'm the result of the decisions I made in the past. I can't go back there and change what I ate 2 months ago or the drama that I let seep into my spirit 2 months ago, but I can choose what I do today. That's the mind switch. So a quote for you: your future depends on what you do today. And that's Gandhi. So how could we start phrasing this into some questions here? Well, would your future self 6 months from now be proud of your choices that you made today? Ooh, that one kind of gives me goosebumps. I'm going to say it again. Would your future self 6 months from now be proud of the choices you made today? And then what choice did you make today that you hope to continue making as your future self? What do you want to align yourself with? So how about we get 3 tips today? 3 ways to believe in and empower your current self. So number 1, you got to actually be present. You got to get into the habit of using that question system I've been saying. Is this a choice my future self would make? Is it? And then number 2, make sure your goals have a timeline. That is also one of the biggest problems with people setting goals is they're like, oh, so I want to have $20,000 in the bank. But they just leave that open-ended. Okay, like when you're 80 or like at the end of the year. So you have to define that, and then you have to piece together the steps that are going to take to get you to that by that timeline. It's kind of called accountability. You have to have an end cap on things. I'm sure you've heard of the SMART goal format, but the T on SMART goal acronym is timely, okay? A timeline. So get specific with that and hold yourself accountable. So we've talked about being present and making sure your goals have a timeline to empower your current self, but also drop the guilt. Drop it. I'm talking to you. Drop it. Guilt comes from our past actions. And you can't go back there and change any of that. That time is over. So if you're spending all your time back here, freaking out about the decisions you made in the past, then you're not here today thinking about the decisions you're making today, and you're certainly not projecting out into the future and asking yourself, what does the future sage want me to do right now? Guilt also distracts you. It just distracts you. It keeps you out of, it's basically, guilt is one of the biggest excuses. I mean, quite honestly, it's because it keeps you from checking in with the present because you're still living back there. Drop the guilt. So 3 things: be present, make sure your goals have a timeline, and drop the guilt. That's how you believe in your current self to create your future self. So what small step or choice could you make today that your future self wants you to make? You don't know? You don't know where to start? Reach out. I got your back. That's what I'm here for. Grow with me. Watch my videos at Sage Robinson Miller on YouTube. Get on Facebook and join the group. Join my page, Growing Sage. Get on Instagram, Growing Sage Journey. And choose to show up now in the present to create your future self. You've got this. I know you've got this. Have a good day. You guys are so awesome. You've got this. Love you.